All right, this video was already late, so if it's not in focus, it's not in focus. If the camera is hanging to the left or to the right, it just is what it is at this moment. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé Season 4, Episode 12. Let me spit out this gum. Y'all, this is gonna be a fast video because it's Saturday. I gotta get this video up to you guys. I have a Zoom wedding to attend at 5 p.m. There's a lot happening in my life, so let's jump right on this episode. So welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 4, Episode 12, King of Wishful Thinking. I hate all these Americans. Honestly, Avery is the only American who isn't trash. All the other Americans, T-rash. Basura. Let's jump right into the first couple. Let's talk about Varya and Jeffrey. Okay, besides the 90 Day Fiancé tea where Jeffrey is acting all kind of hurt on Instagram Live because he wasn't invited to the tell-all, boo! You got a lot of skeletons in your closet and the people found out about it and they didn't want you on the show no more. TLC was like, we had already filmed all of this, so we're gonna show him in the episode. We're just gonna pretend he doesn't exist in the tell-alls. Jeffrey real boo hurt about it. He is on Instagram Live in makeup, drunk, giving tidbits of information that we are just supposed to speculate about, and I'm just not with it. I didn't watch any of the spoilers. I didn't watch the 10-hour unedited tell-all because let me tell you why. I can't watch anything unedited. Besides that, let's get back to Jeffrey and Varya. Okay, so Jeffrey has gone on bended knees in the wood after they did the banyas and he asked her to marry him, and Varya's response was, not now. And he's like, what? And she's like, I have to think about it some more, not now. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying not now. And Jeffrey is taken aback. He says in a million years, he had never envisioned her saying no to him. And this is the problem with these Americans. It's the problem with Lisa. It's the problem with Ed. It's the problem with Jeffrey. It's the problem with David. It's the problem that these Americans just feel that the fact that they're American already gives them 75% chance of this person saying yes. And that all they need to do as the American is travel to make sure this is real. They don't need to impress the foreigner. They don't need to be everything the foreigner needs them to be, because after all, they have that blue passport. They have that green card, and that's all they really need. It is so absurd that Jeffrey had no doubt. Listen, it'd be one thing if he was dating her for 5 years and they had talked about marriage several times, talked about their future several times, and then he went to propose and she said no and he was shooketh and shocked. Like, I would get that. But the fact is, this is the first time they're meeting each other. He blew up at her friends. He then acted like a whole plum crybaby fool afterwards. He basically pressured her into having sex with him. He has acted an asshole fool and then tells her that he's an ex-con, which like completely dropped his stock. And he still, at the end of this, had no doubts that she would say yes because he was the prize. So he's then rude to her the rest of the time. They get on the airplane from Siberia to Moscow or wherever. It's almost as if she didn't even come with him. He's sitting on the plane by himself. I don't know if they got separate tickets or what's going on, if there's no camera crew, girl, but according to Jeffrey's video vlog as they call it these days, Varya's not with him. Then they get into the airport and we see Varya trailing behind him as he like rushes off to go wherever it is that he goes. The next morning, they get ready to leave and he's just sitting on the bed. It's almost as if he is sitting back waiting for her to beg for forgiveness. And I'm just like, you are not all that, sir, especially with those whack-ass tattoos. Like, every time he takes off his shirt, I'm just like, gross. Those faded tattoos. Why don't he just go ahead and get them covered up? Like, why just let him fade into oblivion? Did he get him in prison? Like, why are they so poorly done? They're in the cab going back to the airport, and it's very reminiscent of when she picked him up from the airport. They're sitting so far away from each other. They're not having any conversation. Varya's like, oh, when you come back, we can go to this bar. And he's like, why would I come back? Excuse me. She's like, if I'm your destiny, I'm your destiny. Like, it wouldn't matter if I said no now. So what you're saying to me is that everything was contingent upon this moment. We're not going to continue talking to each other because I said no to marriage, which is something huge and big in my life that was going to take me away from my family who doesn't trust you. He's just like, I'm not coming back. This was it. I brought you a ring. You said no. So I'm just like, what an asshole. And it's very obvious. She then tries to make up by letting him go into the airport, and then she runs after him and hugs him. He doesn't even want a hug. He's being so standoffish because I think that he thinks that she's about to say yes, and then she still doesn't. And I'm just proud of her. I'm like, bravo, Varia. Bravo. Don't give this company, don't give TLC and Matt Sharp what they want. Give us what you want, what you need. It was a good ending. I'm over Jeffrey. And also I just found out that there's 3 more episodes. Of what? I wanted this week to be the last. Why do we need 15 episodes in the season? We only need 13, TLC. We only need 13, okay? That's all we need. That's all we want. That's all we need. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Ash and Avery. Woo, child. Ash is a whole lying fool. So it picks up where we left off, where he's like, Avery, make me stay here. Show me that you love me. And Avery's just sitting there looking at him like, so Avery's just like, look, dude, I'm just trying to get to know you and I'm trying to talk to you. And I don't need to tell you that I love you in order for you to say, just sit down. So he sits down and she's like, you know what? The first thing you said to me was, and he was like, yes, it was talk to me. And she's like, no, you called me a heartless person. You called me a heartless person who hurts people. How do you think that makes me feel? And then he's like, you're right. I'm sorry. Okay, let's sit down and have this conversation. Great. So what I want to say is that I don't have anything to say right now. Meanwhile, in his mind, Ash is like, she's trying to destroy me. In that moment, I felt like Avery was trying to destroy me. Okay, Thanos, I need you to calm down. No one's trying to destroy you. They were just asking some questions based on your questionable behavior and questionable thought patterns. So Avery's just like, all right, well, we can talk about this on the way there or whatever we need to do, but this is where I am. I'm just digesting it all. So they get into the car. They drive the 2 hours to where Tosh and Seon live. And the whole time it's just a lot of tension in the car. And he brings it up and he says, there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of things, like, let's talk about it. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to need a night by myself. Of course she needs a night by herself. They have only been talking to each other for 9 months and she's broken up with him 3 times. This isn't as solid of a relationship, I think, as everyone is liking to think it is. This is them getting to know each other. And the first sign of friction, that is his response. I 100% feel Avery and where she's at this moment. He doesn't want to stay separate. His confessional, he says that he was trying to build a wall of trust with her and she keeps on breaking down that wall of trust. And I'm like, you keep breaking down the wall of trust. She does not know you. You do not know her. Okay? You're getting to know each other. And when she asks you a question, you have a meltdown. Also, y'all aren't married, so you don't need to stay together in order to hash out your feelings, because you already did that last night, and the outcome was you telling her that she was a horrible person who hurts people. Now she needs some time alone. So he drops her off at a hotel and then goes to see Tosh and Seon and then stays at a completely different hotel, which I don't quite understand. Doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. The next morning, she takes a cab over to Seon's house. He's already told Seon too much of their business, like telling Seon that they have been in a little bit of a fight, which to me is TMI, but okay, maybe they have that relationship. She meets Seon and Tosh. It's a cute little moment, and then Seon and Avery go off to have wine together, which is exactly what they need to have. And Avery asks the hard questions. She says, exactly how long have you guys been broken up and what's your relationship? Are you okay with Tosh moving to the US? So Seon says, yeah, we just got divorced officially last year. And she's like, and Seon's like, why? What happened? And Avery's like, well, he just told me that you guys have been divorced since like 10 years ago. That's what he told me. That's not, you know. And Seon's like, well, we were separated, but we didn't officially sign any documents until last year. To me, that is an unnecessary lie, something you should have been honest about, especially because him and Avery have only been talking for 9 months. So it's not like they were talking while he was getting a divorce, right? He was already divorced when he met her. So all he had to say was, yeah, I just finally got a divorce last year from my ex-wife. We've been separated for 10 years. Also, like, the timeline, I don't exactly know how old Tosh is, but it feels like they got pregnant with Tosh right when they were gonna break up or right after they broke up. So like, that is interesting timing that I wish that they would jump into. Seon says that the person that Avery's dating now is not the person that she married a while ago, and it took her a long time to recognize when he was actually fearful and stressed because he would just cover it all up. And so Avery's like, oh wow, that is really good information to have. because I'm starting to see past his cracks as well. So the last question that they talk about is whether or not Seon would be okay with Tosh moving to the US. And you can tell that Seon is visibly shaken by this concept. Avery's like, I just wanted to hear it from your mouth. Ash is making it seem as though you're okay with this. And she's like, no. Even you saying it again makes me like freak out. And she's like, no, I wanted to know because if it were me, I would be upset too. But you know, I'm glad that I know that now. So now we know that Ash again is doing that thing where he's just pretending like everything is okay, wishful thinking, and making that in his mind the reality. Which is why I'm so grateful that she had that conversation with Seon, that they were able, Avery and Seon, to have that conversation, because Ash, whether or not he means to be, he's a liar. He omits facts. He sugarcoats things, which is not something you need. I saw a lot of feedback online of people being like, I don't even know why Avery thought that that was a fact to begin with. I don't even know why she's so dumb. She believed Ash. And I'm like, there are parents who send their kids away all the time. There are parents who put their kids in boarding school. There are parents who do all kinds of stuff depending on their lifestyle and depending on their wants and needs and self-care. So like, I wouldn't have judged Seon if she thought that her male child should go live with his male dad in another country. Like, yes, it's hard, but you know, it happened on Boys in the Hood. I mean, they wasn't living in different countries, definitely living in different zip codes. I don't know how much money these people have. Like, maybe Seon could hop on a plane twice a year to go visit Tosh. Maybe Tosh could hop on a plane twice a year to go visit his mom. Like, it happens all the time. Seon was okay with her son going with her dad. To me, would be no problem with that. And I'm not judging any woman who does that or any parent who does that. That's the end of their conversation. I'm waiting for next episode to see what Avery has to say to Ash now that she has information. All right, so the next couple that we're gonna talk about is Ed and Rose. Everything we needed. Rose is the MVP of this season. She's the MVP of Before the 90 Days, dare I say it. Okay, so Rose is sitting next to him, across from him, telling him how he never loved her and how he's using her, how she never loved her son, which I think is really key, because the fact is that he met Prince twice, didn't really interact with him, said a bunch of things to him in English that he didn't understand, and then wanted to take Rose off again without the son. And so Rose peeped that, but she was like, you know what, I gotta do what I gotta do for the family. I'm gonna take one for the team. She even says that she knows that her family's gonna be disappointed in her, but like, she can't be with this sex tourist. That's all Ed is. He's a lying sex tourist. And so she's reading him his rights, and Ed can't stand it. Ed is looking at her like, he cannot stand that this 23-year-old girl that he thought he was just gonna run around is now telling him about himself and how mean he is. And he's like, all right, I guess I'm just like a mean person. I guess I'm just a bad guy. And she's like, yes, you are, Ed. And so he gets up because he can't take it anymore. So he gets up and he walks away, and he's like, well, maybe she needs some time to think about it. What do you mean she needs some time to think about it? She already thought about it. She already did her walk and thought about it, okay? It's over. So Rose goes up to the hotel and she packs her belongings, and she said, he's not the man that I thought he was. He doesn't really love me. That's not love. And then before that though, oh, the manipulative thing. He's like, well, I brought a ring. I was gonna propose to you. And she's like, I'm gonna say no to that proposal. You already showed yourself to me, and I see you, and I don't want to be with you. Ed then walks around while Rose packs up her clothing and gets on a bus, and she says that she's gonna try to change her plane ticket, which I know TLC has to be helping her with. Like, I have flown enough in my lifetime that I should be okay at the airport, and I'm still like, hey, where's the sign? Okay, that way. This, you want this? Okay, I'm gonna, I'll open my bag. I'm still nervous every time I go to the airport. So I can imagine Rose being a little overwhelmed with trying to change her plane ticket and flying back by herself and like all that jazz. I hope production is helping her, because this is a bad, unhealthy situation for her to be in. They are watching this man take advantage of this girl, and it shouldn't be happening. So Ed then finally decides to go back to the hotel room, and he sees all her stuff is gone, and he starts to cry, and we're just like, shut up. So then we have Dum Dum David. Dum Dum David is wearing this Blade jacket. He is in the airport all of a sudden, and we don't know why, but apparently he has been talking to Lana for the last 3 weeks, so he called the cameras back to come film him getting on the airplane. He's so excited because he's like, this time she's gonna meet me. You know, she was really, really nervous before, and this time it's gonna happen. 24 hours later, he gets to Kyiv and he goes into the hotel. He tells her that he's there, and she responds to him, oh, I can't meet you till Monday. I have my nephew's hockey game. I don't know where she had to go. Did she have to fly to Siberia real quick for these games? I'm not sure. But David is pissed off. Where are her priorities? Her nephews mean more to her than me. I'm like, so many things mean more to her than you. So he decides that he's going to call the PI again. So we have the PI, Sergey. And Sergey's sitting there looking like, I mean, he's buried some bodies, okay? Calls down to the desk and gets an interpreter, and the lady at the desk is like, this dumb American. Okay, I'll get you an interpreter. So they go to a cafe, and the interpreter starts to interpret between Sergey and David's like, well, have you found any other information out? And Sergey's like, no, she's a scammer. In my opinion, you should just let this go and go home. And David's like, I didn't ask you for your opinion. Don't tell me what you feel. Give me the information. Give me the facts. Well, the facts are that she has several dating websites. So those are the facts. David gets on my nerves being so rude to Sergey. So he stands up and he's like, you, sir, are fired. And Sergey's like, I don't give a fuck. They paid me however much they paid me to be on this show. It's fine. David goes back to the hotel. He gets a message from Lana. They're gonna meet at some monument at 11 a.m. He irons his shirt, which he's so sick of having to iron his own clothes. He can't wait for Lana to get there so she can iron his clothes. So he puts on this gold shirt, then he puts back on, you know, the black Matrix leather duster, and he goes out into Kyiv, and he stands underneath this monument that's supposed to be super popular, and Lana shows up, guys. It wasn't even as exciting as when Maria showed up because somebody spoiled it for me, which like hurt my spirit. But what was amazing, it was that the fact that Lana looks like she's about 42 years old with good work done. She does not look 27. She looks like a feline in the face. The last couple that we're gonna talk about is Stephanie and Erica, girl. I remembered their names. How exciting for me. So Stephanie and Erica, girl, like, I don't even care. Stephanie is just so ridiculous. Erica tells this story that doesn't make any sense to me, really. Like, the fact that she was kept hidden for 10 years by an ex, which is why it was so upsetting that Stephanie couldn't tell her mother about Erica. Oh yeah, that's what happened beforehand. So beforehand, Erica and Stephanie are getting ready for Stephanie to come out to her mom. I'm not mad at Stephanie for not coming out to her mom, but her reasoning that she gave behind it, which was like, I'm not gonna come out to my mom on video chat. Well, then why didn't you think about that beforehand? Why didn't you tell Erica that you weren't ready to come out to your mother? But apparently she feels all this pressure to come out, which doesn't seem like something that Erica would do. The next morning they're talking about it, and Stephanie is confused as to why Erica is pressuring her. And Erica says, because for about 10 years, I was kept a secret by my girlfriend and it made me feel shitty. And then I thought to myself, but you weren't out to your family, so you were keeping her a secret as well. So I don't know, like, they needed to flush that out a little bit more, because as far as we know, we just saw Erica come out. So like, who were you guys keeping a secret from? Like, your friends? Were you guys just like down low lovers and you knew that if you came out that you were dating this person, it would somehow get back to their parents and your parents, so you guys just both decided to keep it on the low low? I don't know. But anyways, it hurt Erica. And so Stephanie fucking freaks out, you guys. And I literally have no idea why. She's like, we're supposed to be honest. We're supposed to be telling each other the truth. And you never told me about this ex that you had. And she's like, Steph, like, why would I tell you about anything when you're gonna react this way? She's like, so she's the reason why you're pressuring me to tell my family? And I'm just like, why are you so upset? It's a past relationship. She throws a piece of like a bowl or something and it breaks and she storms off outside and it's just too much. And Erica's like, you see what happens when I tell you stuff? You blame me. And she's like, well, I'm the one that's erratic. I'm like, yeah, girl, you are literally the one that's erratic. We are watching you be erratic every single time. Oh yeah, Stephanie and Erica go to some like friend party and they have a good time. They have like a game night. And the friends were like, honestly, we didn't expect to like you, Stephanie, but now we like you. And I'm like, ugh. Don't like her, she's trash. I'm just so sick of Ed. I waited 28 years to find love. What does that have to do with Rose? Nothing. And you came over here and treated her like shit. All right, you guys, so that is the end of my recap. Let's have a kiki and a conversation down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Are you excited for tomorrow's episode? I am. I hope that I can get this video out by tonight. Don't forget to check out these videos right here. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Hop to it. Don't be late. Hop to it. Better make it today. Hop to it. Don't be late. Hey, make it all the way.